When it comes to the NFL draft, one decision can either build a dynasty or haunt a franchise forever. All the scouting, interviews, and mock drafts in the world, and yet, sometimes, teams still fumble at the goal line. Today, we're diving into 1 in a million NFL draft blunders. 10 jaw-dropping mistakes that shaped NFL history in ways no one could have predicted. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. 10. Tim Tebow's hype train crash. Tebow had the heart of a lion. Nobody questioned that. He led the Florida Gators to 2 national championships and had fans rallying around him like no other prospect. But NFL decision-makers weren't so sure if his unorthodox throwing motion and limited passing ability would translate. Enter the Broncos, who traded up to grab him at 25. Tebow had a few memorable moments, including a playoff win over the Steelers, but it wasn't sustainable. By 2012, Tebow was out of Denver. By 2015, he was out of the NFL entirely. 9. Johnny Manziels' text message disaster. 2014's draft season was the peak of Johnny football mania. Some scouts loved his improvisational flair, others were terrified of his off-field lifestyle. Still, the Browns were tempted, and they traded up to pick him 22nd overall. Reality? Manziel wrecked himself instead. 2 chaotic seasons, multiple off-field controversies, and 0 lasting success later, Johnny football was out of the NFL, a flash in the pan. Cleveland wishes it had ignored. 8. Trey Lance, the 49ers' $100 million gamble. The 49ers saw Trey Lance as the future, a raw but tantalizing mix of size, arm strength, and mobility. So much so that they traded 3 first-round picks and a third-rounder to move up and draft him 3rd overall in 2021. But reality struck fast. Injuries, inconsistency, and the rapid emergence of Brock Purdy made Lance expendable in just 2 years. San Francisco traded him away for a fraction of what they paid. Today, Lance is a backup, and the 49ers' epic gamble is a cautionary tale for franchises falling in love with potential overproduction. 7. Lamar Jackson's last laugh. Before the 2018 draft, multiple scouts advised Lamar Jackson to consider switching positions, wide receiver, maybe even running back. He refused. Teams doubted his mechanics and consistency as a passer. Result? Jackson slipped to the 32nd pick, becoming the 5th quarterback selected. The Ravens, after passing on him earlier, traded back into the 1st round to finally take a chance. And boy, did it pay off. Jackson became the youngest quarterback ever to win MVP at 22, proving every doubter wrong in spectacular fashion. 6. Shedeur Sanders goes undrafted for 2 days. Heading into the 2025 NFL Draft, Shedeur Sanders wasn't just a top quarterback prospect. He was a brand. Son of Dayon Primetime Sanders, Shedeur brought swagger, elite deep ball accuracy, and massive media hype. Many experts pegged him as a top 5 pick. But leading up to the draft, analysts started raising red flags, concerns over his attitude, locker room leadership, and what some called a cocky demeanor. Even with the whispers, no one expected this. 2 full days of the draft passed, and Shedeur still hadn't been picked. It was one of the most shocking slides in modern draft history, a brutal reminder that perception off the field can crush even the brightest NFL dreams. Sanders was at last picked 144th overall in the 5th round by the Browns. 5. Aaron Rodgers' freefall. If heartbreak had a face in 2005, it was Aaron Rodgers sitting in that green room. The California kid dreamed of leading the San Francisco 49ers, the team he grew up idolizing. But the Niners coaching staff, worried about Rodgers' confidence, or as some called it, cockiness, chose Alex Smith 1st overall instead. Rodgers waited and waited until the Green Bay Packers finally scooped him up at 24. He spent 3 seasons on the bench behind Brett Favre, stewing, developing, and preparing for revenge. Today, Rodgers has 4 MVP awards and a Super Bowl ring, while the 49ers spent nearly 2 decades searching for a quarterback who could have been right under their noses. 4. The NFL passed on Patrick Mahomes. The 2017 draft will forever haunt certain teams' front offices. Mahomes had a cannon for an arm and jaw-dropping highlights at Texas Tech, but many scouts worried about his reckless style. The Bears, needing a quarterback, chose Mitchell Trubisky 2nd overall. The Browns, Jets, 49ers, Jaguars all passed on Mahomes. The Chiefs traded up to 10 and grabbed him, the steal of the decade. Today, Mahomes is a 2-time MVP, multiple Super Bowl champion, and the face of the NFL. Every team that passed, still wondering how they missed the next all-time great. 3. Tom Brady, 199 picks of regret. The 2000 draft had its fair share of quarterback prospects, but none looked particularly special. Scouts nitpicked Brady's lack of mobility, average arm strength, and unimpressive combine results. 6 quarterbacks went before him, including names that faded quickly from memory. Even Brady's beloved 49ers passed him over. The Patriots took a chance at 199th overall, and the rest is NFL folklore. 7 Super Bowls, 3 MVPs, and every team that passed on him? A footnote in the legend of Tom Brady. 2. Ryan Leaf, the Great Collapse. The 1998 draft featured 2 can't-miss quarterback prospects, Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf. The Chargers were desperate for a franchise QB and gave up a small fortune, 2 first-rounders, a second-rounder, and 2 players, to move up and get Leaf. Big arm, big ego, bigger problems. Leaf clashed with coaches, alienated teammates, and played atrociously. By year 3, he was out. By year 4, he was out of football. One of the biggest disasters the NFL has ever seen. 1. Jamarcus Russell, the king of busts. 2007's #1 pick, Jamarcus Russell, looked like a generational talent on paper. Huge frame, cannon arm, and a Sugar Bowl performance that dazzled scouts. But the warning signs were there. Questionable work ethic, poor conditioning, and lack of drive. The Raiders ignored all of it. One infamous story sums it up. Coaches gave Russell a blank DVD, asking him to study the playbook. He returned saying he had mastered it. Russell cashed in with a massive rookie deal, flamed out spectacularly, and never even scratched the surface of his potential. When it comes to draft busts, there's Jamarcus Russell, and then there's everybody else. Draft day dreams can quickly turn into draft day nightmares. All it takes is one misstep, one overlooked red flag, and a franchise can find itself stuck for years. Which draft blunder shocked you the most? Drop your answer in the comments. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe for more 1 in a million moments, and I'll see you in the next one.